de lavusha v'shemusha dira v'shalmusha de arsa hakol kibla lav ze'ev halevi chasandanan me'ez guten kesef tzoref v'tzavi ze'ev halevi chasandanan v'hasava min delay od me'ez guten kesef tzoref acheren knegam sach hakol masayins guten kesef tzoref dekach amra ze'ev halevi chasandanan achrei shta ksukta da dunya don v'tesefta da Kala Savai, Val Yersi, Basrai, Disparel, Kol Shvar, Arag, Nixing, the Kenyonim, the Isli, Tachas Kol Shemai, the Kanoni, the Osir Ono, the Mikne, Nixing, the Isla, and Achrayas, the Leslam Achrayas. Kula Hon, Yahon Achrayin, Varvaon, Nefra, Minahon, Shtar Kasupta, Da, the Dunya, Don, the Sefta, Da, Min A, Filu, Min Galima, the Al Kasboi, the Chaye, Ubasr Chaye, Min Yuma, the Non, Ula. Achrayas v'chamer shtar besukta da nedunya don v'deisefta da kibla lav zev halevi chasandanon kechomer kol shtare ksubes v'deisefta es the nehigin nas Yisrael v'asuin ketikun chachmeinu zal the lo kasmachlo the loy katos et shtare v'kinyana min zev ben shmuel halevi chasandanon the maras chaya bracha v'shmuel b'tzalel the sulta da kol man the kosum v'purish le'el man the kosher v'kanei Behakol Shrir Bekayim, Neum Yisrael, Heschel ben Harav Meirazal Eid, Neum Shmuel ben Azriel Eid. What we just read as I just spoke is the Iksuba, the prenuptial agreement. It separates the two levels of marriage within Judaism, the Erisin, Kedushin, and Suin. It is quite serendipitous that Parshas Noach was read the Shabbos before your Chasana, Stephen Zev, and Lisa Chayev Bracha. Not just because of the geometric progression of what the Chasana represents, that you, like Noach, are rebuilding the world, and in generations to come, through this geometric progression of your children and their children's children, you are starting a world unto yourself. And not just because Noach had to build a teva, and Lisa Chayev Bracha, she walked around you 7 times. And as you had your shoes and belt untied, removing all other knots in your life, because your only attachment is to your kala. And as she walked around you, creating a teva, an ark, from the ravages of modern culture, protecting you in your home, in your bayis nefesh. But there's another reason why Parshas Noach, I feel, is quite relevant and apropos to this chasana. The first thing that Noach did when he left the teva, one of the first things that his lips touched was wine. He planted a vineyard. And it seems so peculiar to us that he would do such a strange thing. But yet, Lisa and Stephen, it's what we ask you to do today. We ask you not to eat, and the first thing that your lips touched today was the wine. And the Berachas Erusin, and the Berachas Nesuah in a few moments. And the answer, I believe, as Chazal tell us, that a marriage between 2 wonderful families is described as Invei HaGefen v'Invei HaGefen. 2 vineyards, 2 types of wine, a Bordeaux and a Cabernet Sauvignon perhaps, that are melded together. Because Noach understood, and Chazal understood, and Stephen and Lisa clearly understand that wine within nature is unique. It is one of the only things in nature that can get better with age. We all wither. But wine, grapes, has the potential. We could make vinegar, we could make juice. But we could make something that only gets better year after year and day after day. As I mentioned on Shabbos, that the true test of Yahadus, of Judaism, is not if your grandparents are Jewish, but if your grandchildren will be Jewish. Both of these families, Invei HaGefen and Invei HaGefen, come from such chashuv, such important pedigree. The Bouldermans, the false pillars of the Jewish community in Buffalo. Lisa, I don't know if you saw, but your grandfather wrote a column that he put online last week called The Jewish Wedding. And I know he didn't tell you. And he didn't even explain why he was writing it, but everybody who saw it knew. There is nothing more important to your family than Judaism and Torah and the continuation of this geometric progression that we just described. You come from very important stock. Your mother, your father, your grandparents, those that are here and those that are not. And Stephen and Zev, you as well. You were fortunate enough to spend Shabbos with your father, with other members of your family, with your grandfather, a student of Rav Moshe Feinstein. This is truly a case of Inve HaGeffen, Inve HaGeffen. What we ask of both of you is to continue in this wonderful tradition of your parents, and all of our parents, to continue this geometric progression, to taste wine as you leave the Teva tonight for the first time, as you leave the ark of independence, of autonomy, for the first time, and join together and drink yayin and build something that gets better with age. And I want to say publicly, I told this to Lisa privately, I told this to Stephen privately, but now I'm going to tell everybody. I have never seen a chassan and a kala as dedicated as you are to each other. Every time I would sit down and speak to Stephen about concerns, about questions, about the wedding, whether we were talking about chol, whether we were talking about kodesh, the mundane or the significant, his first question was, Lisa. The first thing Lisa said to me when I saw her today, I was trying to, as you, Rabbi's job, more important than marrying them is to calm the kala. The first thing she said before I got a word out of my mouth was, how does Stephen look? How does Stephen feel? We only hope that the excitement and the freshness when you leave the table today remains, and you understand your charge, and you give us all the opportunity to see a Bayis Neman B'Yisrael built on Torah, built on the Taryag Mitzvahs, built on everything that sustained us and allowed us thousands of years after the Torah was written to stand in Niagara Falls, New York, and perform a marriage such as this. Mazel Tov, may we share in only simchas, in the Waldmans and the Rosenfelds together in the future.
Amen. Mazel Tov.
We now honor Rabbi Dr. Shaul Siegel with the first two brachas of Reb Sissu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol zara lechodo.
Amen. Mechubed Rabbi Leon well with the third bracha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ha'adam.
Mechubed cousin of the Kala, Mr. Joel Falk, the fourth bracha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yotzer et ha'adam b'tzalmo b'tzalam davud taring so v'iskin lo mimenu binyan adei ad Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'adam.
Amen. Mechubed Mr. Joel Zweibel with the fifth bracha. Zayda b'chassan.
I may not be able to see it. Let me see. My eyes are not. Christus is so gel walking on. The kibbutz koneho soicho besimcho. Baruch atah Adonai, mesabeach tzion bebeneho.
Amen.
Chubed Rabbi Muscat, Rabbi of Chassan, with the sixth bracha.
Samech Tisamach, Reim Hu Ahovim, Kisamecha Yitzircha B'Gan Eden Mikedem, Baruch Atah Adonai, V'Samech Hasan V'Chalal.
Amen. Chubed Rabbi Yalon, with the seventh bracha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher baras hasan v'simcha chasan v'chala, asher baras gayla rida ditza v'chedva, ava b'yachva v'shalom v'rayos, meir Adonai Yisham b'yara Yehuda v'chutzaysi v'shalayim, k'el sasai v'k'el simcha, k'el chasai v'k'el chala, Kol mishalach chasanim mechupasom, v'norim mimishtan hinasom, Baruch atah Adonai, v'sameach chasanim hakala. Amen.